Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Luke. So I mentioned a couple weeks ago, I think, on my Twitter, follow me on Twitter if you don't already, at Lukeyread, I came up with this idea. I think I'm calling it CBBC Corner. I don't know if I am going to call it that. If anybody can come up with a better name than CBBC Corner, leave it in the description. No, the comments. This video is already trash. And what I want to do with CBBC Corner is every video I will talk about a different show from my childhood, and for those of you who watched it too, we can get nostalgic, and for those who haven't watched it, it's basically going to be educational, and it's going to be me telling you that you missed out and you should be watching this show. My first thought was like, well, I'm going to start with the queen of CBBC herself, Tracy Beaker. Instead of talking about the whole series, I also wanted to talk about the characters, because the story of Tracy Beaker has some of the best characters in television history. It's a fact. It's a fact. I didn't lie. Did I lie?
Did I lie? Did I lie? Did I fucking lie?
I wanted to rank the characters in a tier list that I made on tiermaker.com. And I have to apologise because for some reason Tracy and Rebecca seem to be in it twice, and I don't know how that happened, but I also don't know how to edit these things because I'm not tech savvy. I'm not that person. Basically, we have all the best characters from the story of Tracy Beaker, and I thought I'd rank them. And basically, if this video does well, I hope it does, don't let it flop, then CBBC Corner will become a thing. But if this video flops, then I'm going to pretend this idea of mine never happened. Categories, what have we got? At the top, we've got royalty. The best of the best characters. Like, they make me cry just because they exist. Then we got HBIC, head bitch in charge. Basically, the characters that the show would be nothing without. It needs these characters to survive. Then you got All-Star, which is basically the category of they didn't win Drag Race, but like they were invited to come back and maybe win because they are good enough to win. They just didn't win. And then we've got I Don't Think, which is basically just the category of people that I'm like, meh.
I don't think.
And then you got Get in the Bin, the worst of the worst. And there's some of them. There's some. I guess we'll just crack on. Do be aware that this is my opinion, and if it offends you, all I can do is apologise, but I also don't care. We're going to start with Tracy. I know that's quite boring, but you have to. The show is Tracy Beaker. So obviously she has to go in HBIC, because the show wouldn't be anything without Tracy Beaker. And she is the head bitch in charge. Royalty is just for those really special few. Okay, like it's really special. Rebecca Chalmers. I think most people would be like, get in the bin. They hear the name Rebecca Chalmers and they're like, get in the bin, hate her, can't stand her. But I kind of love bitchy people. Not in real life. Don't do that. Don't be that person. We're talking fiction. Fictional bitches, the best kind of fictional character you can get. She's not on the level of like Tracy Beaker, Justine Littlewood, but if Tracy Beaker and Justine Littlewood didn't exist, Rebecca would be the main character. She just would. So she's an all-star. She's an all-star. Then we got Bouncer. Who doesn't love Bouncer? I think I'm going to put him in all-star. I would probably put him in HBIC, but there was one episode where he turned his eyelids inside out, and I have such a thing about eyeballs, like people going near their eyes, itching their eyes, anything to do with eyes makes me feel physically sick. I do love Bouncer, but every now and again I think about that and I'm just like,
No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am.
Ben, 10 points to Gryffindor.
Another 10 points to Gryffindor.
He's a lovely boy, but he's a bit of a liar. Kids do lie. I think a lot of these characters are liars. So I'm probably going to put him in all-star as well. Chantel Wellard. Okay, I'm a Wellard stan. Tracy Beaker, fantastic show. Pretty much 10 out of 10. But when the Wellards came, 11 out of 10. The power they possess, can't fathom. I do think she is my least favourite out of the Wellards because she was in it for the least amount of time. So she's not quite as iconic as Roxy and Rio, let's not lie. Oh, she's an all-star. Then we got Amber. Whoa, she's such a little snake. She wore a bandana thing before Rio did, so she's a trendsetter in the dumping ground. But at the same time, Get in the bin. Just get in the bin, Amber. Adele. Adele was cute. Oh my god, do you remember that time she had a bed sit and she pretended to like it, but she didn't really like it? Oh my god, Tracy Beaker plucks at the heartstrings, man. She's an all-star. Rio Wellard. I was just saying how much I love the Wellards. Rio, he's an iconic character. He needs better music taste in Room 5. Not for me. Not my cup of tea. But he is iconic. I'm going to put him in HBIC. Louise. Speaking of snakes. So she's cute. She's cute. But she's just as bitchy as Tracy and Justine, but she's so much more subtle about it. Can't be dealing with that. She's a little snake. I'm going to put her in I don't think.
I don't think.
And I'm sorry for the Louise stands out there, but she's shady. She's a shady lady. Camilla Lawson, royalty. There's no question. She is the gay icon of my childhood. Carly Beaker, Tracy's mum, get in the bin. Not even talking about it. We're not even talking about it. Roxy Wellard, hello. She's royalty. She is everything Regina George wishes she was.
Mother.
Peter. Is that, I don't know. Oh, he is adorable though. And he shares a birthday with Tracy. And actually he looks really cool in this picture I've chosen. He's an all-star, you know. I did waver on the I don't think, but I think that's too harsh for Peter. Oh my god, Marco. Can we talk for a second? He made me feel normal. Not saying that he's that weird, that a weirdo like me feels normal, but like all I used to do when I was younger was dress up, and all he did was dress up, and like no one questioned it. They were just like, that's what he does, he dresses up. And I was like, I felt seen. So royalty. It's a personal thing, but he's royalty. Sid. He's cute, you know, he's doing his job. It's one of those shows that when you're younger, you're like, oh my god, the adults are so annoying. But when you're older, you're like, oh my god, the poor adult. He doesn't have a lot going for him, but he did sing the song Lovely Bubbly Porridge with Duke, so he's definitely going an all-star tier.
Lovely bubbly porridge, lovely bubbly porridge.
Dolly, she's royalty. She is royalty. Like, if anyone is going to argue with this, you're so wrong. She is the queen of the dumping ground, and she has amazing taste, because who didn't fancy Nathan? Gary. We don't talk about Gary. Gary gets in the bin. I'm so sorry, Gary. He's a little gay guy as well. I mean, I think him and Cam, they were obviously each other's beards. She didn't want to be an outed lesbian. He didn't want to be an outed gay. So they married each other. Didn't work. Now we don't talk about Gary. He's in the bin. He's in the bin. Hayley, little queen, far too cute. Oh my god, she's an all-star. Jenny's an all-star too. Actually, I'm changing my mind. Jenny's HBIC. She's so in charge. What Dumbledore is in the Harry Potter universe, that's what she is in the Tracy Beaker universe. I want to be Jenny. Justine Littlewood, HBIC. The show doesn't exist without Tracy and Justine, and every time they have a bit of beef, it gets me going. Layla, she's HBIC as well. Layla is one of the queens of the dumping ground. Lol, who didn't fancy Lol? I saw him recently actually in Les Mis. Very talented. I'm going to put him in HBIC because he was really funny and he didn't pull his eyelids inside out. Bouncer. Next we got Maxi. Okay, he's going straight to royalty. I will just never forget the time that Jenny took him out to get new shoes, and he just created absolute carnage and chaos for her. Locked himself in the car. Disaster, but absolute king. Michael, absolutely straight in the bin, like bottom of the bin. He was such a naughty little rat. Not a fan. Mike, oh my god. I want to marry him. I want Mike to propose to me. He's so beautiful. He's so sweet. He's so kind. Royalty. There's no other place for him. Jackie. I think she's a little lesbian. I don't know if that's just stereotypical that she's like into sports and stuff, that I was just like, oh my god, lesbian. Love the storyline with her granddad. She's an all-star. We can't deny. Nathan. Oh god. I don't know what it is. But like, if he asked me out, I'd be very happy. So he's royalty. Elaine the Pain. Okay. She's a pain. The kids hate her. She's always told to bug off. Everyone finds her annoying. The show would be terrible without her. Absolute HBIC. Considered the royalty, we might have to review that. What's this little girl called? Ali. Alice. She's Alice. Why did I think she was called Ali? Cam and Gary's wedding, and I think she like dressed up as like a druid. Did I make that up? And she's in Sex Education these days, which is a great show. So she's an all-star. Crash Bandicoot. It's not his name. Again, who didn't have a crush on him? Everyone, right? Right? He is HBIC. Which one is this? Is this Ryan or is this Zach? Bad fan. I'm going to say he's called Ryan. He was in Sarah Jane Adventures, Warriors of Kudlak. We'll get to Sarah Jane if CBBC Corner is as successful as I want it to be. But let's not lie. Ryan and Zach were the like downgrade Low and Bouncer. Once we got to Low and Bouncer, it was like, oh my god, this is how the brother pairing should have been. Ryan and Zach, they were just kind of there. Low and Bouncer are like in Pokemon when they evolve to their final stage and you're like, this is what I wanted. So Ryan's just, I don't think. And Zach, come on, we might as well do you while we're here. Millie, she doesn't say a word. She was in Nanny McPhee. I think, was it the one where Tracy hit her head and she had like a vision? And Millie was like, Tracy Beaker, shut your big fat gob. And I remember they put that in all the trailers. So I was like, oh my god, she's going to be so sassy. And then the first episode, she was just really quiet. And I was like, they've lied to me. That was where my trust issues came from. But that's not her fault. That was the editors of the trailer. She's an all-star. Duke. Oh my god. Who doesn't love him? He is royalty. And I feel like he was the real one who sang Lovely Bubbly Porridge. I know Sid sang it with him, but like, Duke's the one we remember.
'Cause it's lovely bubbly porridge.
I wanted him to make me food and I wanted to hug him. You know? Right, Shelley. I'm on the fence with Shelley. I think they were doing like a sports day and she like pretended to break her arm so she didn't have to take part. And I'm like, do I hate her for that or do I love her for that? Because that's great, but it's also really annoying. Like if I was another person and found out she faked it, I'd be like, oh my god, Shelley, what a bitch. But if I was Shelley and had to do a sports day, definitely fake breaking my arm or spraining it or whatever she did. We'll call her an all-star, you know. Wolfie, he's an all-star, isn't he? And then we have Wilson. He's an all-star. I mean, for just a one-off guest character, he sticks in your mind. So this is my finished list. All the people that deserve to be in the bin are in the bin. If I had a birthday party, I wouldn't invite them. Louise, Ryan and Zach, like... Pfft. Louise is more iconic than Ryan and Zach, but like, filthy little snake. All-star tier, it's quite busy. There's quite a lot of people in there. But that just goes to show how good the characters are in this show. HBIC, Tracy, Rio, Jenny, Justine, Layla, Lowell, Elaine and Crash. Whoa, what a category. The show Tracy Beaker would be absolutely nothing without them. And then royalty, aren't they just the best characters ever to appear in television? I'm so happy with this list. I feel like I've got it so correct. The only ones I waver on is whether Elaine the Pain should be royalty or not, because she is an icon. I'm bad at decision making. I like my tier. I think I've done a good job. Well done, Luke. Pat on the back. So that is my ranking of the Tracy Beaker characters. Oh my god. Have it to hand. My Tracy Beaker box set. The best box set I've ever owned. And like, not to be dramatic or anything, but I think it really made our generation like really understanding and accepting of people's mental health. Whoa, that got deep, didn't it? But like diversity in the kids and what they were going through and the issues and the problems that they had. I just think it really opened the eyes of my generation to be like, wow, we've got it better off than some kids. Or some kids would go, oh my god, like, I'm not alone, that's me. And I love that. I will absolutely adore doing CBBC Corner and diving into the world of Tracy Beaker a little bit more. I think it's where my channel's always been headed. I really don't want this video to flop, so if you could like it and leave comments and share it and all that stuff, I'd be very grateful. My channel is going to become the CBBC channel. Not as in the CBBC channel on telly, but the CBBC channel on YouTube. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please subscribe if a CBBC Corner does sound exciting. I keep going on about it, but I so want it to happen if you can't tell. Bog off. I had to leave with a bog off. Bog off!